Hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. This week we are doing Companion Questions Part 2 with our amazing team, Miss Robyn Kennedy and Mr. Gavriel Chichester.
What up?
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh, baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
You guys, so happy to have you back here to answer the rest of these questions.
Happy to be here.
We left off with cum questions, but before we jump in, there were a few things I just wanted to talk about because I've been talking about them on my Instagram stories. And the first one that a companion wanted me to relay, she was like, everybody should know about this, was last week, you might recall, we were talking about Juicy Campus and College ACB and like different sites like that. A lot of you have written in being like, we had Yik Yak because like you're younger than me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Girl.
So yeah, these sites have been around for a while and they're always to like talk shit on primarily women. And they always get shut down because it is hate speech. And it is not a great look and it's not great for people's confidence. Like the DMs I got when I brought it up were all like, oh my God, I'm having PTSD, like just remembering Juicy Campus. Like I like telling me about things that had been posted about them. I think I mentioned my roommate freshman year got like dragged to the point that she dropped out of school. It was like wild, but those, yeah, they were taken down. But I made a point that I hadn't thought about. The original like site, or not the original site, but if we think back to like other sites that have been created to rate women based on attractiveness, one that like comes to my mind in a massive way is Facebook. And like Mark Zuckerberg has testified about the fact that he did start it to rate women. Like that's what the site was intended to do. And it just blows my mind that like it's such a still huge part of our lives, you know, like even when you think about like the 2016 election and how like little they intervened and like how little they fucking cared until things like went to shit. I'm just like, I don't know, less surprised now. Because I'm like, yeah, that was a really dick thing to do, to start one of those sites. Like a lot of us I know were involved.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe I would even go on and rate people or whatever just to do it to like be like, oh my God, am I on here? Or like to do it because like it was some sick fascination. You know, it was the same time like The Swan was on TV and like everyone just wanted to be like the hottest person. Not a great mentality. But to start one of those and be one of the most wealthy people, the most in power people, not in our country, but in the world, and to have such massive influence and come from such a misogynistic place, I'm just like, ugh. And like, it just makes me think about the rules and like who writes the rules and like history and like who writes history. And like one of these things that I always struggle with is like with feminism, like where's like the ebb and flow happening? Like why can't we just be like kind of like a progression instead of like waves and coming back? And it's because women aren't writing the history. You know, like so many things can happen. Like LGBT people can do fucking Stonewall, but like if they're not the people writing the history, like Gavriel and I were talking about this documentary Disclosure, which everybody needs to watch. It's on Netflix. It's amazing. But how like the media whitewashed Stonewall and stuff. And that's because like those were the people making the movies, was the men who were in power. So it's just like, if you want to make something and you are in a marginalized group, it is very important for you to make that thing, to like stamp your mark on history. And like also like, I'm not saying that things haven't been made, they have. Also uplift people, you know, who are making those things, who come from marginalized communities. And yeah, hopefully we won't have to like be like, okay, it's fifth wave feminism. It's like, where did we go? You know, like trans people have existed throughout time, but like the education around it goes away. Where does it go? It gets like I don't know, wiped out by people who are less comfortable with the existence of other people. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Facebook. I wasn't going to like be like tear down Mark Zuckerberg because
Yeah, that's where
like,
I thought you were going.
I don't like what I don't know Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if he's made any strides recently. We know they're doing more fact checking. I think it is easier to report I think there's like, but obviously you just need to push companies and corporations to like hire more women, hire more people of color, hire more, like people with disabilities. It's disabilities, like just hire people that aren't the mold.
Totally.
What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, Call Her Daddy, because I posted, my friend Hannah Berner was on Call Her Daddy. Congratulations to Hannah. People apparently really enjoyed the episode. Call Her Daddy is a huge platform, as we were saying a few episodes back. Congratulations to Call Her Daddy for having Hannah on, because Hannah is amazing. And you guys, like, a lot of people wrote me being like, do you suddenly like Call Her Daddy or whatever? Like, I really don't listen to this podcast. We did as much journalism, like it was not journalism. It was just like we listened to like the first episode and we were like, okay, I don't really love this, but like I get it. And like we're all from women making money. They were number one on the charts. I'm down for a woman being above Joe Rogan. I think that's pretty cool. And I listened to the episode because Hannah's a good friend of mine, and I was really, really proud of her because I don't know, I was like kind of nervous for her, but I just thought there was great feminism on it. I think her and Alex had great chemistry. They had a talk about condoms that I wasn't obsessed with, that like veered off into like, I don't use condoms, fuck condoms. But then Hannah was like, actually, I did learn this really sexy way that a guy used a condom with me. And the story that she told, like TBH, made me wet, made me uncomfortable. I texted her and I was like, I'm visualizing too much stuff with you going on. This has never happened to me before. And she was like, that's so fine. It's so fine. But she made condoms sound so appealing. And I was just like, yes, yes. Do I still think Call Her Daddy is a hoax and there's I don't know. I really don't know. It was just like a conspiracy theory, but also if Sophia comes back next year, I wouldn't be surprised. But it seems like Alex, the host, has like grown a lot too since like that first episode I listened to. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. Will she be having me on that podcast? Probably not. I wouldn't have somebody on who called me a hoax. Or maybe I would, to be like, hey.
You actually would.
I actually would. I actually wouldn't mind having her on this now. I think I really didn't like the duo of that, her and her old co-host Sophia. Like it was just a little too
cliquey.
I don't know what the right word to use is, but like the energy was just weirder, like not one I'd want to get involved in. But I think now she seems like
chill.
Maybe a little too girly girl. Is that fair to say? Like in the classic sense, like, oh, we just want to like get dressed up and like get taken like now Alex seems like a little more tomboyish, which is like easier for me to stomach.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
What was the last thing? Oh, sports gambling. Okay. So Gavriel's like, wait, you want to talk about Facebook, Call Her Daddy, and sports gambling? Why sports gambling?
We all want to know.
The house that I'm currently living in with Ben's roommates, the guys are all big sports gamblers, and now one of their girlfriends has just gotten into it as well. Like everybody's constantly talking about sports gambling. And this morning they're watching soccer, and his roommate Volkan, who you guys might remember from What About Ben's Roommates, flips to female soccer, and he's like, isn't it fucked up that we can't bet on female sports? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, female soccer you can't bet on. Now, they are betting on like 120 different soccer leagues across the world, you know, like
Wait, what do you mean you can't bet on it? Is it like a formal way of betting, or is this like informal between friends?
Oh,
type
you're
of
so cute.
betting?
Yes, there's like a whole internet for sports gambling.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's not like we sit around and everybody puts in like $5 and then they're like, that team's going to win. It's like, no, like you can bet on parlays and you can do all these different like things. Like there's like a fucking science. It's like a virtual bookie. I've never done it.
It's impossible.
I don't like betting. If I go to like a casino or something, I'll go in with like $25 that I'm willing to spend, and I'll sit at a blackjack table where like the buy-in is like $1, or I'll sit at roulette and I'll just wait until that 25 is done. And then when it's done, because that's it. I'm paying for my good time. That's my ticket. But I can't.
I'm not old enough to go to a casino.
That makes sense.
My friends are. They went on the weekend and I had to stand outside.
Hey, I get that. I was the last of my friends to be 21 and they all went to Vegas before I could. So I've still never been to Vegas.
That's brutal.
I know.
Oh, that's so rough.
But yeah, so you can't apparently bet on women's sports. Ben was like, you can bet on the WNBA, but maybe it's just not soccer.
That's weird.
Yeah, pretty mask. Oh, that's one more thing. And you and I talked about this in the post-coitus this week. Are we calling it aftercare? Are we calling it post-coitus? I don't know.
I had a power cut and I was so sad because I really wanted to talk about the episode.
We can talk about it this week because
Please.
we're not going to have a post-coitus for this one. We're going to be like, Remember when you were there and I was there?
Shut up. You do Aussie. You don't do Kiwi.
I know. I'm so sorry. It's because I trained myself on Chris Lilly.
Yeah, well, don't.
Yeah, no, I know. He's canceled.
Yeah.
Wait, what were we talking about before? Oh,
Sports
okay, wait.
gambling.
No, we're done with sports
gambling.
gambling because I clearly don't know enough. But still, look into it. If you can't gamble on women's sports, I think that's fucked up. You should be able to fuck your life up. I want people to lose their houses over Hope Solo.
But no, like if we did start gambling on women's sports, would we not be like, oh, they're placing bets on money, they're just objectifying women? Like, is that like a viewpoint that people will have?
But I mean, you could say the same thing about the men that they're objectifying.
But is that the
You think their
reason that
junk's
we don't
not
have...
bouncing around during soccer game? But no, about what we were saying last week, and because I had this conversation with somebody the other day about like, do we care if Mrs. Maisel is played by a Jew? Do we care if trans people are played by trans people? Yes. And here is one of the huge reasons I was thinking, because this guy was telling me, he was asking if I liked Maisel. And I was like, well, one of the things that bothers me is that like people watch the show and they're like, oh my God, this is a Jewish person. Like I've never seen them before. It's different than the stereotype I was accustomed to. She's so beautiful. I'm going to look up that actress. Oh, she's not Jewish. That makes sense.
Yikes.
Because then that reinforces the stereotype that, of course, we couldn't get a beautiful Jewish woman to play a beautiful. They don't exist.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking false. Like, my friend
bullshit.
Riley posted this TikTok of this gorgeous Jew the other day, and I was just so proud. But the same thing with
Relatable.
trans people is somebody could see a woman and go, oh my God, is she really trans in real life? And then if you go to her IMDb and she is a cis woman, you go, oh, of course she's a cis woman because trans women could never be beautiful. But no, in Pose, all of those women are trans. And so you go, oh, that's what they really look like. In Disclosure, they were like, when we see male actors like in great makeup playing these roles, and then we see them as their male counterparts in real life, then that's what you think of as trans people, is people in costume, which is like, no.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it also changes the way that you perceive the movie if they're like portraying a trans woman and then it's just played by a cis woman. It kind of like changes your view, because why don't you just like cast that role to someone who can actually play it authentically?
Right.
Like,
that's what one of the
rather
actresses
than
was saying.
taking the jobs away from them.
Yeah. In Disclosure, she's like, when I do an acting role as a trans woman, I don't have to act the trans part.
Yeah, exactly.
I just am, and then I act the other part.
Yeah. And then I heard within like the whole, just on the topic of actors like leaving or whatever, with the Black Lives Matter movement, like Kristen Bell left one of the TV shows she was on because she was playing a woman of color, and she's like, why did you give me this job? Like, why are you making me do this? Like, give it to someone who can actually, like, who is actually a woman of color.
One of the voices in Big Mouth, I think her name is Mindy.
Jenny Slate, who voiced Missy.
Yeah,
not Mindy.
Jenny Slate left as well.
Yeah, like I didn't even realize, but like, why? Like, why a white woman? I don't know. So
yeah,
weird.
it doesn't
Especially when you're like acting out loud, like, because there are definitely like lines in the show about like Missy being mixed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you're
and
also acting
for a white
person,
a white woman to be saying that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So we have all these companion questions left.
We do.
We're gonna get to them. One of them was about the team. Do we want to start with team questions?
Sure.
Why not?
Let's start with, how did you meet your team members?
A great question, Robyn. How did we meet?
Well, I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I had just finished listening to season 1, episode 21, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, with Ralph Sutton and
Lindsay Jennings.
Lindsay Jennings, yep.
I love how all of us can like name like specific seasons, specific episodes, names.
Yeah, I've heard them a million times.
Yeah.
I just finished listening to that, and I remember so specifically. It was like a Friday afternoon, and I was on my way to physio, and I found this meme about threesomes that was like, threesomes, no thanks. If I wanted to disappoint 2 people, I'd have in the same room, I'd have dinner with my parents.
Yes.
And I shared that with, like, I showed that to my sister, Emily, and she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I was like, should I send it to Remy? And she was like, you won't get a response. And I was like,
no, I loved it.
I was like, should I just do it? And I sent you this like message about how something like you had said that it makes Ben's day when you're happy because you get cool messages or something. And I was like,
truth. Still true.
You were in Atlantic City at the time.
Sports gambling. Yes.
And you responded within like 0.2 seconds. And I was like, damn, okay, she on her phone. And then, I don't know, that went from that to this somehow. Insane.
Yeah, no, you were a patron too.
Yeah, I was a patron after a while because Emily wanted to, because I think that was when...
Emily's Robyn's sister, by the way, who introduced her to How Come. Shout out to Emily. We're so happy that you exist and that you sent your little sister to us.
Yeah, I know. She's good sometimes.
Classic little sister not appreciating.
I mean, just it's how it is. It's a lot. No. And so then I signed up for Patreon because Emily wanted to have a look at the extras and everything. And I was like, well, let's get a phone call. And we woke up at 4 a.m. and like this exact time. And had our 20-minute phone call that lasted way longer. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, it was so cute. And it was like a sister date because it was like me and Charlotte and like you guys. And like it was so fun. And like Robyn met Nan like on video chat.
Oh, that was so cute.
And then Gavriel, how did you come to us?
I was part of the Loyal 42.
42.
Loyal 42. Yeah.
Loyal 42 is fucking loyal. From Remy's Comedy Club, only 42 people that watch every week.
So I was one of those people. No, I like knew about Remy through comedy first before I knew about How Come, but completely discovered like the podcast separately. Yeah.
What?
I don't know that.
We have a couple mutual friends, because I used to live in New York, and we have a couple mutual friends who are also comedians. So like I'd seen some of your like clips and things like this, but
Remy's shooketh.
Oh my God, I am shooketh to the core. Also, like just from a story perspective, this is perfect. Like,
but the way I discovered the podcast was. I think I was just, honestly, I was bored in quarantine and this is what I do. So I was just looking for like sex podcasts and I came across How Come and it got me through a lot of quarantine.
Wow.
And then, I was watching Yeah, I was watching Remy's
I didn't love you
Comedy Club.
before. Oh my God.
I was watching Remy's Comedy Club, Loyal 42, of course. And someone like mentioned, I don't know, like somebody asked a question about the team or something, and you like just very randomly like
Had a breakdown.
were like,
Yeah, she just
"Wow,
blurted it out.
we might be looking to like add someone else to the team," and I like threw my phone in the air, and you know, I was like newly fun employed, and I like sent like a message as soon as I could to like How Come on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh my God, let me send you my resume."
But then, like, I feel like we ignored you for a while too.
It took us a while.
You did.
Because
Like,
we
oh my
couldn't
God,
get our shit together.
I had one friend who like kept asking me, like, because like I called this one friend after. I was like, oh my God, like the timing is just so perfect, and it's like exactly like a perfect job for me, and I like love this podcast. And
I feel like we just couldn't get our shit together on this.
And then like he was like,
Yeah.
they're never like eventually he was like, oh my God, like wasn't that like a month and a half ago? And I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, wait. So this is though perfect because like I feel like our DMs like stay at like we have like 150 unread that like we just haven't responded to, and to those people I want to say we don't not care about you. Sometimes we are trying to book somebody who can give us the answer to your question because we cannot answer it. Sometimes you have been too nice to me that I just don't know how to respond, and I like to go back and see it and reread it over and over again. Like, so it's not like against you. Like sometimes like we're just in like a weird place with us that like our shit is not together and we cannot handle you right now. But like, please do not be offended. Like if you're hearing that, Robyn, like I like responded to her like within 2 seconds. Like, yes, sometimes I do that, especially if it's a meme that makes me laugh. Like I do. We're very mature here at How Come.
Who's your favorite team member?
Oh, myself.
Grace.
It's a rude question.
That's it. That would be
From
an
the
HR
rudest
problem.
child.
If you
It was a
answered the
companion
Yeah.
submitted question. It wasn't my own question.
All right, let's do questions that will help people.
Yeah. Coming. How can I keep having sex when I already came and my clit feels very sensitive?
do something else during the meantime. Like, you know, if you're, this can also happen to a penis as well. If you are feeling like you're like
Penis
a little
fatigue, yes.
yeah,
No.
if you're feeling, also during like the refractory period of a penis, like after you ejaculate.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're feeling overstimulated, try doing something else in the meantime. Switch it up, switch what you're doing, touch a different place, touch your partner instead, until, you know, you've reset your body, and then go
Take
back
a break.
to it. Yeah.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Have a Kit Kat.
Yeah, no, that's interesting to think about it as a refractory period, though, because sometimes your clit is super sensitive after you've just come. So it's like some people are like, oh, how do I like push past that? It's like, don't take a
Just
break.
give it a minute.
Scale it back. Yeah.
Give it a hot minute and you'll be sweet.
Kiss for a little bit. Do people kiss anymore? No one kisses anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, kiss if you're quarantined together. Glory holes if you're not.
Exactly.
Is it normal to indulge in masturbation 3 times a day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
What's normal?
If it's not interfering with like your ability to like, you know,
Function.
live your like normal life and like attend to your responsibilities as like that you have, like, then sure, do it.
For sure. But like do it as much as you can without it interfering with your life.
Do it as much as you want. Yeah.
Do as much as you want,
Like
if it becomes a problem where you're like, I have to fucking go, like you'll know when it's a problem. 3 doesn't sound like a problem.
No. 3 sounds standard. I recently started squirting when masturbating, but I don't orgasm. Can you dig into that, please?
Surely. Very common.
Very, very common.
Yes. I answered this question in our new bi-weekly newsletter, which you all should sign up to receive.
Yes, it's called the Booty Call.
Go to howcomepodcast.com and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage and sign up for our newsletter, guys.
Do it.
Bitch. Look at us. We are becoming promosexuals.
We are.
But yeah, the answer to this question is necessary because a lot of people write in asking about this.
So ejaculation, which in females like is colloquially known as like squirting, or people with
Or
vaginas,
jizz with a G.
or
Check
jizz
out the
with a G.
Disney collection.
Plug.
Ejaculation is a different phenomenon from orgasm. So orgasm is like the peak of the arousal cycle. It's like the peak level of physical and emotional sensation in the body. There's a release in tension in the body. And then ejaculation actually really just strictly refers to like the expulsion in folks with
Of, like, a
penises
fluid?
of a fluid. Like, yeah, for anyone like expelling a fluid from your genitals. So that means if you're being stimulated, that means you might ejaculate without or squirt without having an orgasm, or you might orgasm without ejaculating or squirting. I know for me, like before I actually ejaculate, I often have a couple orgasms without ejaculating.
Nice.
And
Interesting.
Some people squirt before they even come.
I did. The first time I ever came,
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
squirted
say.
first, and I remember looking in the mirror going, that was not it. Keep going, like, because you can have all the visual, quote unquote, indications, but like you're saying, ejaculate literally just means to like expel something. Like you can ejaculate a phrase, like Charlotte was saying, like
Literally,
it's literally
yeah.
just something coming out. The orgasm is the feeling, like that warm thing that like kind of feels kind of melty in you, and the two are not as connected as everybody thinks.
They're not, and because like a lot of the same muscles in the pubic region are involved, people can confuse them. And because most of the time, for most people, it does happen around the same time, but it's not always like that. Like if you watch porn and like that's your only source of sex education, then like of course you would think like,
we pity you.
This is weird. Yeah, well, we pity you, and there's lots of resources out there besides that that are much better. But like if you only watch that, you would think like, oh, isn't this supposed to happen at the same time all the time? And it can, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. So take that pressure off yourself. And also, like, if somebody is like, I want to make you squirt, just be like, okay, but do you want to make me come?
True tea.
True.
Like, do you just want to see something that like is a little metal, or you want to like feel my box pulse?
I can't say I've ever heard that, but yeah. For the next question, this is just one of the ones that came through on the DMs after we had already recorded. So I didn't put it into the folder. But I just figured it's a little bit lighthearted, but we may as well go for it. And it's a multi-choice answer. And it's definitely not going to be, it might not be one of these answers. But when a guy comes fast and says, it's because you were way too good, does that mean A, my pussy fire, B, his game is weak, C, my game is so weak he got to get out ASAP, or D, none of the above? This has been said to me a few times, she said.
It probably is D, none of the above. That sounds like performance anxiety. I know men's brains inside and out. That is definitely performance anxiety comes from like all the like, and I think we talked about this in regards to some other questions too. It comes from like all the shit like we consume or are taught about like how sex should be, how it should look.
That's not to say her pussy is not fire.
No, it's not to say your pussy is not fire.
I'm sure your pussy is fire. And that's maybe why he has performance anxiety, because it's so fire.
Maybe.
It could be.
But what I was saying was that like, you know, sometimes we just put like a lot of pressure on ourselves, right? And it can result in premature ejaculation. It can result in delayed ejaculation. or like erectile issues as well. And maybe he's just trying. Often what happens, especially with men, is that the partner becomes way more concerned with the fact of like when he's coming. If he comes, then like he is, which can be even more stressful.
Yeah, totally.
So maybe what he's trying to do by telling you that your pussy is fire is trying to like calm you down and like not make you think that it's you.
It's you, brother.
issue.
Yeah,
Or that it's not fire. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I have a question now. When people prematurely ejaculate, then they're not necessarily orgasming,
They could be or they could not be.
right? They could be or they could not be.
Most of the time, yeah. Also, like a lot of the questions we get, like, you know, there's 3 seasons worth of episodes, guys, and like,
Yeah.
if you're new to the podcast, like, I definitely encourage you to like go through and just like read some titles or some like show descriptions and like see if there's answers to questions.
There is one podcast provider that I found that our podcast is on, and you can literally search a topic and it'll tell you if it's in the description of our episodes.
What is it?
It was listennotes.com, and you can search
All right, listennotes.com.
within the podcast, yeah. But if people are like, oh my God, instead of asking us in which episode did you finish?
Do you talk about sex and disability? Do you talk about, oh my God, it looks like I'm wearing my
Does it? I just saw that before.
Yeah, like any topics that you guys are asking, like Gavriel said, there's 3 seasons. We, I think, have covered like
a lot
of stuff.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Also, I think we should maybe make like a little FAQ of like best and which to listen to. Maybe we could do that on the Instagram.
The episodes to listen to.
Yeah, like it's like if you want to listen. Well, no, but it says it in the titles. Like Sex and Disability is called Sex and
And I
Disability.
did make that episodes to binge.
You know, group sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Group sex is in the title. Especially season 1 was like very
it
themey.
definitely was.
You want to learn how to fuck in French? Search How Come French.
Oui.
Okay.
We have that for you.
Okay. Hygiene.
Do you have any tips on...
My name is not Jean.
Excuse me. My name is Gracie. Do you have any tips on how to clean yourself after sex, i.e. how to get cum out of your vagina?
Yeah. If you don't want it in there, you can ask for it to not be in there. But if you do like it in there, then the PC muscles are great. I mean, like if you bear down, like you can push it out, obviously, but
while sitting on the toilet, preferably. You should always be peeing after sex if you want to avoid a UTI. That's step 1.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes for penises or vaginas. Definitely pee as soon as you can after sex.
It's the best release after the other release, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Then burp and fart, and you'll feel great.
True.
But I mean, it's important to remember, like, you know, the vagina is like, it's called a pussy because it cleans itself. You know.
Hey.
Yes, work.
And you want that on a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, you can buy it.
Check it out, howcomepodcast.com, the Disney collection. We still haven't been taken down by Disney Corp.
I don't think we will just yet.
We need a soundboard. But yeah, you know, the vagina is self-cleaning. So I don't recommend personally doing things like douching or something like that because your vagina cleans itself. But yeah, I guess it really depends. Like if you don't want it in there in the first place, like you should
put it somewhere else.
You should ask for it to not be in there. But if you do like it in there, you just hate the cleanup, then, you know, just squat on the toilet.
Yeah, especially if you're one of those people who's allergic to your partner's cum. Just be like, come on my back. Like I had a boyfriend who I was allergic to, and I never let him come inside me.
Even that can be like bad for someone with an allergy to come, though, depending on the sensitivity.
All right. Well, yeah. No, for me, it was fine. But yeah, tell him to shoot it at the wall. Put it in a plant. Fucking put it in my drapes, you bitch.
Plant.
Like,
this is our cum plants.
Put some seed on those seeds.
Oh
my
my
God.
goodness gracious.
Could you imagine having friends over?
I water your seed with seed.
Could you? Oh my God, that would be
What?
like a weird housewarming gift. Here's a cum plant for you guys. Fill it with your seed.
Yeah, and then it grows a baby that like vaguely looks like you.
Vaguely. Oh my god.
Okay. More. Oh wait, and you can always rinse in the shower and stuff. Like
definitely wash up. Yeah.
I like to like rinse between the butt cheeks and stuff because like it doesn't just go into your vagina. It like slides into the back and the taint and you get all sticky and yeah. I still do. It's like point your butt towards the shower head, spread your butt cheeks, and just let the water trickle down. You don't really need soap. Like just
Get
let
you
it
a nice
do its
detachable
job.
shower head.
Yeah.
Toys/fetishes. The first one is, let's start with toys. How the fuck do I introduce my vibrator to sex with my partner? #shy. I feel like we've definitely talked about it, but if people are just
Try
tuning
not
in,
to judge it so hard.
Don't judge yourself before like your partner judges you, and if they do judge you, then like fuck your partner. Like,
Yeah.
They might not be comfortable with it right away, but
We've also been asked the question a lot, like of girls who like, it's not just girls, but it's mainly girls who are like, I've never come. How do I bring that up to my partner without making him angry? And we have a script that I put on the FAQ for this question because we get asked it a lot. And like the first thing in that conversation is like, try to make them understand that it's not about them or anything that they're doing. It's basically like, the conversation is, I've never done this myself. It has nothing to do with you. It's something I'm working on. Just so you know, I don't want it to make you mad. I don't know why you would get mad because like that's truly like a question that I'm angry at is like why would a guy get mad if somebody was working on coming? Like if a guy told me like I've never come, I can't imagine being like
angry.
Fuck you.
What are you saying? My pussy's not fire?
Yeah. But like also maybe like just do the script that we said, but also if they put up more of an argument that it's like, no, you can only come with me. No, I don't want you using a toy. If they don't see your sexual pleasure alone without them as important,
break up with them.
Maybe get rid of them.
Maybe.
Like if you have a guy who's comfortable with the fact that he's been jacking off since he was 12, but he doesn't want you to experience any satisfaction unless that bitch is in the room, get him out.
Immediately.
True tea.
Out onto the streets with Corona.
Corona. Okay.
But yeah, if someone like doesn't want you like pleasuring yourself, like trash.
True trash.
On to the next.
Trash.
All right. How do you bring up really crazy fetishes to people without scaring them away? In brackets, foot.
Oh, foot's not that crazy, you guys.
Foot's
like,
not that crazy, y'all. It is not that crazy.
Babies.
Also, we don't kink shame here, you know.
They're shaming themselves. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't shame yourself.
Do you know how attractive our bodies are? We're allowed to be attracted to different parts of people's bodies. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. How do you introduce it? I don't know, Gavriel. How would you say?
I think it's sort of the same thing with the sex toy, right? Just frame it in a way that like is centering the fact that like this is something that you think that you'd really get pleasure from, and that like you want to share that pleasure with your partner or partners.
Yeah.
And I think if you frame it from that way, then they'll receive it differently, especially if they care about your pleasure. If it's something that they're not comfortable with, then, you know, you have to have a conversation about that. You don't want to force anyone to do anything they're not completely comfortable with. But
yeah.
Where did I hear
There's
this?
also that weshouldtryit.com that could be pretty good for fetishes.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, you complete the form and it only tells you what you guys match on. And so then you're not worrying.
Well, I think it's even more important than just knowing what you match on, and see like
And
where.
willing to talk about. They have all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I think,
I'm
as
pretty sure they
options. So
do.
it's like
Okay,
want
great.
to, would, could think
Great.
about it, definite no. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Have that conversation with your
I'm
partner.
actually interested to see what Ben and I would match on, because
Do it.
We should try it. It has an app called Spicer, which is all the same questions from the website, but it just looks like kind of like a dating app thing where you swipe left, no, or like match or whatever. And it has more than 12,000 questions about sex. And you can like add your own questions for your partner to answer. I'm assuming without them knowing that you've submitted it. So that could be.
do you think my mom is hot?
That could be a good way to find out if your partner thinks your parents are hot.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever you want to find out,
Do it.
put it in the questionnaire. No. All right. Do we have any? Let's do like 3 more questions and then.
Yeah, do
done
we
for
want
the day.
to
Let's maybe do
Anal?
some anal. Yeah.
let's do some anal, guys.
Anal.
Okay, we'll just start with prep for anal for the woman.
It's the same.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, just in
what?
general, like how do you prep? So if someone's never had anal before, what do they need to like?
Listen
what
to
is-
Anal
Yeah.
101, you guys.
Listen to Anal 101. Also, why do you think it's different for women than men? The butt is, everyone has a butt.
Yeah, it's the great unifier.
The only difference is like some people have prostates, some people don't.
Yeah. You know what I learned recently is that prostate massagers, like G-spot massagers, are curved.
Yeah, they're curved because it's about the same depth. Actually, it's about like the 2 inches in curved up.
It's your
I
man
don't know why,
pussy.
It's your pussy.
It's your pussy. It's your pussy
It's your pussy.
or your
Your
vagina,
pussy.
whichever one you prefer. Or it's just your asshole, whatever you want it to be, whatever makes you feel
Yeah.
comfortable, whatever makes it feel sexy for you.
And use lube.
Some people really don't like. Some people really don't like when someone calls it a bussy. Like I have some friends who are like gay, and
Yes, but if it's
If
my
some-
pussy, I can call it that.
I know, right? Of course, but like when someone else calls it their bussy, they like are like not into that at all. Like they
Yeah.
freak out.
You guys, don't label other people's buttholes their pussy.
That is a personal decision.
Nobody name anybody else's butthole.
Something I learned in like my own experiences, specifically regarding like having sex with folks who are trans. I learned like that you might want to ask like, what they're comfortable with you calling their genitals
Yeah.
or touching.
Yeah.
I've been with trans men before. And one of them like really like didn't like me to like refer to like their genitals with like a name specifically. They had no problem with being stimulated there, but like they didn't want me to like refer to it by the name because it made them
Right.
a little dysphoric. But one of them was like, yes, absolutely, call it a pussy.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh my God. Buck Angel loves his pussy. Like,
Yeah.
it's everybody's different preference. Like, I think we have another episode with Gina Bloom where she's talking about people playing with her dick and like trying to like eat out her dick as if it's a pussy or whatever. And she's like, no, it's my dick. Like, suck my dick, like, so yeah, ask the person. Like, I assume if you're hooking up with a person, you've already asked their pronouns. Ask them another question. What do you like me to call your genitals, if anything?
Yeah, don't assume.
Yeah.
Just makes an
Yeah.
ass out of you and me.
Because when you assume, you make a bussy out of you and me.
Yeah, guys, listen to Anal 101.
Yeah. They have all the answers.
I feel like if we're just directing people to Anal 101, we don't necessarily need to go through the next
Yeah.
ones.
That I agree. Honestly, I think Tech New is like, you guys, it's been an hour and a half.
Robyn
Go-
needs to go to work.
Oh,
She needs
Robyn
to
needs to go to work.
be a
Remy
builder.
needs to smoke a fatty.
I'm gonna
Gavriel
be
needs to
drunk.
go kiki after the ball.
Oh yeah, shit, I almost forgot.
Yeah. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I guess I'll ask you, Robyn, did you finish?
I did finish. I did. Multiple times, actually.
Okay, great. I love it. Gavs, did you finish?
I did. Kind of quick, but it was still fun.
That's good.
Amazing.
Rem, did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. I'm finished. I love you. You guys subscribe to patreon.com/howcome to see extras from this episode where we reveal our true selves. You're like, hour and a half. It's much shorter than that. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, go to that. Check out, we've got videos on YouTube, and please rate, review, subscribe. We have 1,600 reviews on iTunes with 2 million listeners, and not to be a bitch, but where the fuck are you guys? Come on.
Do you know that you only see the ones in your country?
No,
Because
even if I
in
go,
Israel, it looks like Israel. It looks like you
the
have
worldly
6
ones.
reviews.
Thank you very much. We love our international audience. Those fantastic.
we have 2,400 ratings from the whole world.
2,400. That's nothing. If you were
So,
going to say
rate, review,
24,000, I'd be
subscribe.
like, oh. So rate, review, and fucking subscribe. No, just rate and review. I don't care if you subscribe. Never come back again. Rate and review. I told you all about my gynae. Come on.
Take your
Come
friend's
on.
phone.
And
Take
my
your mum's
butthole.
phone.
Told you about spreading my butthole and and
Just
what else?
do it,
Fucking
okay?
post us on Instagram. Come
Not
on.
your gynae.
Not my gynae. I used to call it a puffy when I was little.
That's so cute.
Oh my god, I have a friend who calls it a push. Yeah.
I love that. Send us, Oh, in your review, write your name or what you used to call your genitals as a child.
It's very common for them to be called a Jenna over here. It's a Jenna.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
little Jenna.
My stepdad used to call penises wangs, and I used to hate that fucking word. It sounds so gross.
A wang.
I always liked wang. I liked dong. I liked
Dong?
anything that made them sound kind of silly. Like a puffy is silly. Like a gynae is silly.
Susan. Oh my god, I have a friend who said she grew up calling it her Susan.
That is disgusting.
That's so bad.
No
You meet someone
judgment,
called
Susan.
Susan,
But pick a different name. Unless her name is Susan, and then it's
her
Big
name is-
Sue and Little Sue.
Well, I won't
Susan,
say her
little
name,
Susan.
but her name is not Susan.
All right. Well, Susan, if you're out there, go get it.
Subscribe to the booty call.
Yeah, subscribe to the Booty Call. Go to howcomepodcast.com.
Buy our merch.
Get your newsletter. Get your merch.
Same.
So thank you to those of you who are supporting us. We see you. We love you. We know your last names. And those of you who haven't said shit, where the fuck are you? Come on. Is this too
We're
desperate?
expressing our needs we're expressing our needs in this
We're
relationship,
expressing our needs.
and we're being
Yeah.
ignored.
And frankly, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
And I feel like I was gaslighted a few times. People were
Yeah.
stop telling us to share. And I'm like, why? That's
Why?
literally the only thing you have to do.
Why?
They just want us to
all right.
entertain them.
Goodbye for real. This was a nice refractory period. I came again. Did you guys come again?
Yes,
Okay,
I
okay.
did. Should we call postcoitus refractory period? Or do you want it to be
Postcoitus is going to
aftercare?
have so many different names. We don't even know. We're just too clever.
They're
That's the
just
thing with us.
Smart.
Are we saying the bye?
Yes.
Eventually.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Wait, we didn't even explain that though. Okay, Patreon, this is for you. All right, for real now. Everybody, we love you. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you next time on How Come. Goodbye.
Oh, bye.
Peace.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, oh. I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz